The Philippine vessel monitoring a Chinese ship off Zambales has successfully prevented it from getting closer to the province's coastline, according to the Philippine Coast Guard. In a statement on Thursday evening, January 23, PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, said the strategic maneuvering of BRP Cabra has effectively kept Chinese Coast Guard Vessel 3103 from nearing the Zambales coast. According to Tariela, the Chinese Coast Guard vessel has been successfully pushed further away and is now located approximately 80 to 90 nautical miles off the coast of Zambales. Tariela says the crew of BRP Cabra has consistently conducted hourly radio challenges to remind the Chinese Coast Guard crew of China's blatant violations of international law. On Wednesday evening, January 22, Tariela reported that BRP Cabra replaced BRP Suluan in patrolling the area where a Chinese vessel was illegally operating. Beijing's continued aggression was based on its assertion of sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea, as it continues to reject the 2016 arbitral ruling that effectively dismissed its claims and ruled in favor of Manila. Detained Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder Apollo Quiboloy will be transferred to a public hospital after a Pasig City court allowed his hospitalization, according to the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. Quiboloy was brought back to the hospital over the previous weekend after complaining of difficulty of breathing. He was diagnosed with community-acquired pneumonia and brought to a private hospital for treatment. In a message to INQUIRER.net on Friday, January 24, BJMP spokesperson J. Rex Bustanera says they have received a court order partially granting Quiboloy's hospitalization. Bustanera adds that Quiboloy was also ordered to be transferred to a public hospital following a court order issued by Pasig Regional Trial Court 159 dated January 23, 2025. Bustanera further says that they have been processing the discharge of Quiboloy and is expecting his transfer to the public hospital on Friday. The BJMP did not disclose the hospital location for security purposes. Quiboloy was hospitalized last November at the Philippine Heart Center due to an irregular heartbeat. The Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder is accused of child abuse, sexual abuse, and qualified trafficking. The magnitude 5.8 earthquake that shook San Francisco town in southern Leyte generated over 160 aftershocks as of Friday morning, January 24, according to Phivolcs. Based on its report on Friday, 166 aftershocks were recorded from 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 23 until 6 a.m. on Friday. The earthquake occurred at 7:39 a.m. on Thursday, with its epicenter located 6 kilometers east of San Francisco Municipality. Phivolcs says the strength of the 166 aftershocks was from magnitude 1.5 and 2.9, and that 58 of them were tagged as plotted while none was felt. According to Phivolcs geologist Charm Villamil, an aftershock is called plotted when at least 3 seismic stations nationwide were able to detect it. Villamil adds that if 3 or more stations detect an aftershock, the network will be able to plot or locate the epicenter of the earthquake. Initially, the temper was pegged at magnitude 5.9, but Phivolcs adjusted its report to magnitude 5.8 an hour later and noted that the quake was reported felt in the rest of southern Leyte, as well as in Leyte, Cebu City, Surigao City, and Cagayan de Oro City. Phivolcs likewise says that its scales detected the earthquake in various intensities in southern Leyte, Surigao del Norte, Surigao City, Ormoc City, Cagayan de Oro City, Eastern Samar, Camiguin, Cebu, and Misamis Oriental. Phivolcs science research analyst Lara Guianan previously told INQUIRER.net that intensity is the power of an earthquake as felt and reported by the affected population. In contrast, the instrumental intensity is a strength measured by an intensity meter or scale. The magnitude 5.8 quake resulted in suspension of classes in affected areas, as well as damaged roads, houses, and buildings. 5 people were also reportedly injured due to the earthquake. The 17 Filipino crew members of MV Galaxy Leader who were held captive in Yemen for more than a year are now back home, according to the Department of Migrant Workers. In a social media post on Thursday evening, January 23, the agency announced that the seafarers arrived safely at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 1 in Pasay City via Oman Air 843 at 9:31 p.m. on Thursday. According to the Department of Migrant Workers, the immediate repatriation and provision of comprehensive assistance and support to the Filipino seafarers is a directive from President Bongbong Marcos under a one-team approach of ensuring better protection and welfare of the Filipino seafarers and their families. In November 2023, Yemeni rebels seized MV Galaxy Leader in the Red Sea and took hostage its 25 crew members, including 17 Filipinos, in retaliation for Israel's offensive in Gaza.